Hi, my name's Sam Fisch, and you're listening to the Fisch Bowl. Today's guest is Danny Hicks. Danny is most famous for his roles in Sam Raimi's Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and Darkman. Today we'll be talking with Danny a little bit about those roles and some of his other work. Danny Hicks on the Fisch Bowl. Welcome.
Thank you, Sam. It's good to be on the fishbowl. I think it's better to be in the fishbowl with people looking at me, but what the hell? Who knows?
Right, right. We all float down there, as you know.
Yeah.
I just want to say, besides having you on the show, it's great and everything, but you are definitely one of my true and absolute idols growing up. In the Raimi films and everything, and it's definitely been like an inspirational part on my writing style. With screenwriting and everything, which is what I'm going to school for. And I just want to say it's very cool to talk to you and to have you on the show and everything.
Well, thank you, Sam. That's high praise indeed, kind sir. High praise indeed. It's so funny that when we made this movie, when we made Evil Dead 2 in 1986, actually, it came out in 87, uh, it was really a pretty small film. It didn't really get any kind of traction at all until about 20 years ago. And, after 20 years, well, actually, now it's 30 years later, I'm an instant success. So it's really kind of interesting to hear people tell me how inspirational that movie was to them. It's really kind of amazing, actually.
It's Evil Dead 2 is probably my favorite out of all of them. Although I I'll have to compare it to Ash versus the Evil Dead, which I'm very excited for. Um, I was wondering, are you in any connection to that?
No, I mean, other than, I'm pretty good friends with Bruce Campbell, so I know what's going on with it. But I've seen the trailer, and the trailer looks absolutely awesome. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks good. And to be truthfully, I'm a little pissed off at him because I don't know. I don't think they should have shot it in New Zealand. I think it should have been shot in the United States.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, you guys are Detroit guys. Like, it's America.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, it's I don't know. It's an American iconic film. It should be
Yeah,
shot in New Zealand. So, but then again, it's all about money. So I
right,
guess if
right.
that's shoot a movie or a television show, that's what you do. And of course, Rob Tabert's got all kinds of connections in New Zealand, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Right. I'm sure it'll be great regardless. I mean, it just looks like it's going back to the original Evil Dead style, but taking like Army of Darkness to like the next step with the comedy. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I've never been more excited for a TV series ever. So,
Well, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a lot different than doing. Well, actually, that's not true. It's not all that different from doing feature films. I mean, Bruce, of course, has had a tremendous amount of experience on single camera shoots for television. So let's hope they do a good deal with it, a good job with it, because I'm excited to see it too.
absolutely. I mean, that's it. I have a feeling it's going to be just amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we can move on to the next question, which is what kind of got you interested in film and, leading into working with the Raimis and Bruce Campbell and all that?
Well, actually, I wasn't really interested in film. I was a heavy equipment operator. I was a crane operator. I was 29 years old before I ever stepped foot on stage. A friend of mine was staying with me, and he was doing a play in this little tiny community theater in Farmington, Michigan, called the Farmington Players Barn. And he asked me if I would like to be involved in it. And I said, sure, why not? So I got on stage and didn't get off again for 5 years. It was just something that just kind of happened. I found out how much I liked it and how much I enjoyed it. And people kept asking me to do it. So that's what I did. And one thing led to another. I started doing television commercials and industrial films. And I did that for about 5 years. And then I auditioned for Evil Dead 2 and got the part. So I went into feature films. And that's all she wrote. It was just kind of an accident.
That's very interesting. It's kind of, you want to say fate, you could say fate, but it's just interesting how things kind of end up working out.
It certainly is.
Do you have any favorite, experiences working with the Raimis, whether it was Evil Dead 2 or any of the other films you've worked on with them?
I've worked with Sam Raimi. I don't even know how many times, and they're all great. I mean, Sam is an absolute genius. He's just I can't even compare him to anybody else except for maybe Alfred Hitchcock, and I never worked with Alfred Hitchcock, so I don't know. It's just so much fun working with Sam and Bruce, and actually, um, I've worked with Bruce as an actor and as a director, and he's more fun to work with as an actor than a director. He's kind of a tough guy as a director. And Ted Raimi. I've also worked with Ted Raimi as a director and an actor. I've done many, many movies with Ted. And in fact, I worked with Sam as an actor one time in a movie called Intruder. I actually got to kill him. That was fun. I think I got him back for all the torture he put me through. But every time I've ever worked with any of those guys, it's just been a lot of fun. Just a whole lot of fun.
Them as a group have been, really just amazing, like growing up, following their career because I was, 88 and, I was watching like Bruce Campbell stuff and Sam Raimi stuff like, when I was like 4. So I've had a very long introduction to the Raimis. Sam Raimi is probably like up there in my top 5 favorite directors of all time. And, I just love all of his films. I think for as many reboots as they're now doing with the Spider-Man series, the Raimi's ones have always been the best.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything he's done has just been amazing. I had actually the first quote unquote celebrity I ever had a chance to meet was Bruce Campbell, and I was like, I think like 16 at the time, and I was like so nervous, and he was in Pittsburgh promoting "Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way" and "The Man with the Screaming Brain," and I went to the Oaks Theater in Pittsburgh to get it autographed, and I was like one of the first people to come in, and I was so nervous, and like I went to like shake his hand, and he could see like I was nervous, and like he got out of his chair and like went around and said, "No, no, no, shaking hands is for politicians. We give hugs around here." And he gave me like a big bear hug, and that's like been like imprinted in my mind ever. And if I could ever get Bruce Campbell on the show, that would be amazing. But let's talk about you right now.
Huh. Well, it's funny about Bruce because a lot of people think that he's kind of a jerk because he treats his fans that way, but that's what the fans want. I mean, they want him to be a kind of crude and I'm not your pet monkey kind of thing, but he's just not that guy at all. He's one of the nicest people I've ever known in my life. He's a great man. He really is.
He really is, and that's what I love about guys in the horror franchise business because most people in the horror business are really really just nice people, even though they can portray some of the most insane murderous psycho characters on the screen.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Well, I guess I can ask you my next question. What are some of your favorite films?
I mean, the famous films that I've done or films that I've watched.
Personally, what are some of your favorite films?
Well, I don't think I've ever done a film that I really dislike. Although I don't have a tendency to watch them anymore. I mean, I see them once or twice, and that's enough for me. Uh, Intruder, I enjoyed doing very much. Although it was the filming itself was very difficult and very challenging. Dark Man, I guess, would have to be my favorite film that I acted in. I think that's probably one of the best movies I've ever done. I really enjoyed working with, Sam, of course, Sam Raimi, the director, and Liam Neeson and Frances McDormand, Larry Drake. I mean, just wonderful actors to work with. So I think I'd have to say Dark Man was my favorite.
That's actually next to, I think, the Evil Dead movies. Darkman is. I'd have to like put them side by side.
Yeah, yeah. That was Sam's first breaking away from the group movie too. I mean, it was, he went out there on his own and did it without Bruce. And I remember talking to him before we started shooting, and I remember him telling me over the phone, this is with the big kids, Danny. We're playing with the big kids here now. We're playing with kids. Which I thought, Sam, you're a big kid already. So it was cool. It was fun. We had a lot of fun making that movie. It was hard work playing Skippy with my leg tied up behind my back for hours at a time, but it was a very good movie. I enjoyed it very much.
It was. I just love the whole concept. Like like it's like he's like a dark superhero, but you know just in a different sense.
Yeah,
And I did like the sequels, even though Sam really only like produced them, and they got, what was it, Arnold Velasco to play Darkman, but it was still, I thought, a great franchise.
yeah.
Um, but the first one will definitely always be the best.
I don't think I ever saw any of the sequels to that. I know they did them. In fact, I was approached to do one of them, but I can't remember the exact reasons. It wasn't good for me at the time, or I don't know, my people didn't want me to do it or something. I don't know, but I opted out of it.
They're good, but they're definitely like don't stand up to the first one. I mean, the second one had Larry Drake return as his character from the first one, and in the third one, Jeff Fahey was the villain.
Jeff Fahey, really?
Yeah,
Huh? How about that? I didn't know that. I'll have to think about that. I haven't seen Jeff Fahey in 15 years, but he was a cool guy.
yeah, he's another one of the actors I've been following for a very long time.
Hmm. He's a
But
cool guy.
yeah, yeah, I really like this the return of him in Grindhouse and Machete.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your band, the Timo and Danny Hicks Brain Invasion.
Yeah, that was something that was actually I've spent a lot of time in the last almost 5 years making music with a guy named Timo Sabin. And of course, I met him at a horror convention, and it was kind of an accident that I met him because I was doing a horror convention. I think it was in Indianapolis or maybe Cincinnati. I don't remember now. But somehow or another, they mixed up and put my table or gave my table to somebody else. So they had to squeeze me in with the vendors. And it just so happens I was right next to Timo Sabin. Uh, and he was a huge Evil Dead fan. In fact, he's a huge Danny Hicks fan. He liked all my movies. So we started talking, and then we started talking about music. And Tim spent many years in a band called Fragile Porcelain Mice and another band called Ultraman, which were kind of punk groups. Uh, so we started talking, and one thing led to another, and we started making music together. And we're working on our fourth album right now, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just a whole lot of fun. Uh, he's got a little studio right outside of St. Louis, and once a year, I'll go out there and we'll record 10 or 12 songs, and it's just a blast. We have a lot of fun doing it.
I mean, now you're the guitarist, right?
No, actually, I'm not. I mean, did you watch the video, the
I
Ballad of?
did, I did. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell
Okay.
which one was you though.
Well, you couldn't really.
Yeah,
Huh. Okay. I'm playing a guitar in there, but to be truthfully, I played the guitar since I was like 14 years old.
like I that's why I thought
But
it was
once
you
I
playing the guitar.
yes, I am playing the guitar in the music video, but we're not actually recording it then. We're just
Okay, okay,
lips. Now, the minute I saw Tim O'Saban play a guitar, I just wanted to put mine in the fireplace and use it for fuel.
right,
Tim
okay.
O'Saban is a world-class guitar player. I mean, he's so much better than I am that it's just ridiculous. So he pretty much writes the music, and plays most of the instruments, and I write the lyrics, and we both do vocals, and we have a guy named Sir Ian Baird who plays the drums and helps with the engineering and stuff. So that's how that works. But no, I'm not qualified to be in a Tim O'Sabin band as a musician. That's for sure.
Well, I just have to say that that music video was pretty good. I loved the whole Evil Dead 2 intro and outro and everything. It was very good. I am a huge rock fan, so that was like very very well done. I definitely enjoyed like the Evil Dead references in there, and it was definitely a very rockin' song right there.
No, it's kind of funny because that's the first. I didn't actually even help write that. Tim wrote that. I helped record it, but Tim wrote the lyrics to that, and he sat down and watched Evil Dead 2 over and over and over again. And every single word in that song has something to do to do with Jake and Bobby Joe in Evil Dead 2. I mean, Kandarian Dagger. I mean,
Right.
that's a rock song. Come on.
Right.
It's really kind of funny, but he's a genius, man. The guy's a genius, and I love making music with him.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to like now go out and buy all the albums.
Well, okay, somebody would appreciate it. I know I get like 1/10 of a cent from each time we. So.
Well, just know you'll be getting some of my money.
So,
Well, can you tell us about any upcoming projects from Danny Hicks?
uh, well, I should have a film coming out any day now. I'm not actually sure if it's going to be released in the theaters or if it's going direct to DVD. It's called. Okay, what is it called? I just forgot. Dick Johnson and Tommy Gunn versus the Cannibal Cop. And we shot it last summer in Buffalo, New York. Directed by John Renna, starring Tim Quill and Danny Hicks. I mean, I think your listeners will probably know who Tim Quill is.
I think I'm actually trying to get him on the show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we're done, I'll call him and say, "Hey, take a call from Sam Fisch."
That'd be great.
Yeah. So anyway, that should be coming out real soon. It was supposed to be out this spring, and I don't know if they had some kind of setback or something, but it should be out soon anyway. And I just finished shooting a film starring Tim Quill and Danny Hicks called Elder Island. And we just finished shooting that in Michigan. That probably won't be out for about a year or so. But I don't know, Tim and I, we seem to have hooked up, and now nobody wants to work with just one of us. We've got a package deal thing going or something. So, but that's okay because I always enjoy working with Tim.
Right. You could just consider yourselves the Robert Redford and Paul Newman of the sorts.
Yeah, and Paul Newman's spinning furiously in his grave right now. And Robert Redford's putting on a contract on our lives.
Right.
Yeah, but it's always fun to work with Timmy. We have a lot of fun working together.
That's great. I'm definitely gonna have to check those out. It's going on the list.
Okay.
Well, I think that's about it. I want to just thank you again for coming on the Fisch Bowl. It has been great having you, Danny Hicks, on the show. If you could help, spread the word of the Fisch Bowl, that'd be great.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and I shall spread the word. I'll talk to Timmy Quill for you. He's actually a little frightened of me, so if I tell him to do something, he usually does it.
All right, sounds great.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, thanks, Danny.
Bye.
Bye.